Hello guys, welcome back to my channel in English Academy. Guys, please like, share, follow, comment and subscribe the channel. Guys, if you have subscribed the channel, now we come on the topic the poem The Night of the Scorpion, which was written by the famous Indo-Anglican poet Nishchim Ezekiel. Guys, Nissim Ezekiel is one of the most eminent poets of Indo-Anglican literature. He is a poet who combines everything Indian in his poetry. Guys, Night of the Scorpion is a brilliant narrative poem. It was published in his collection of the poem called The Exact Name in the year 1965. Guys, in the previous video, I have also told about that this poem also shows a tender human situation. The setting of the poem is a family situation when the poet when the poet's mother is stung by a poisonous scorpion. Many treatments are introduced to her. They are based on magic, superstitions, and science. Guys, the poet's mother, suffering from pain for 20 hours, when she becomes normal, she expresses her gratitude to God for suffering her children. Thus, the poem also presents a mother's affection for her children. It shows that for the sake of her children, an Indian mother is prepared to suffer from any poem. Guys, in this poem, we explain one by one line of the poem. Guys, guys, let's start now. I remember the night my mother was stung by a scorpion. 10 hours of steady rain and driven him to crawl beneath a sack of rice, parting with his poison flesh of diabolic tail in the dark room. He risked the rain again. The pigeons came like swarms of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. Guys, in this poem, the, the poet also describes when his mother was stung by a poisonous scorpion on a rainy night. The poet says that it had been raining continuously for 10 hours. The scorpion was hidden under a sack of rice and it came up its hiding place and stung the poet's mother. The room was dark and the scorpion disappeared after stinging the poet's mother. In rainy regions, scorpions and other insects come out of their hiding places. The scorpion crawled under bag of and couldn't find anyone. Parting with his poison flash of diabolic tail in the dark room, he risked the rain again. The pigeons came like swarm of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. In these lines, the poet also says that he is essentially academic. All of them. In this poem, the poet describes how his mother was stung by a scorpion and such a weather the scorpion usually come out of their hiding places, sting people and again hide themselves in their holes. The scorpion crawled under a bag of rice. All of a sudden it came out the room was crawled under a bag of rice. All of a sudden it came out the room. When was dark, it stung the poet's mother. Maybe still they said, may the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight. The pigeons came like swarm of flies, like of like swarm of flies, and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. In these lines, the poet says that the pigeons came in a large number. They prayed to God to give relief to the poet's mother. They searched from the scorpion with candles and with lanterns, throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud backed walls. They searched for him, he was not found. They clicked their tongues. Guys, the poet also says that these peasants searched from the scorpion with candles and lanterns, but all their efforts were in vain. The peasants were simple and innocent and superstitious people. They believed that the poison moved in a lady's body with the movement of the scorpion. With every movement that the scorpion made, his poison moved in mother's blood, they said. These peasants also believes that the sins of her previous birth might be burned that night. The peasant shows as if they know everything. Thus, the poem also described the superstitions of peasants. May he sit still, they said. May the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight, they said. May your suffering decrease the misfortunes of your next birth, they said. May the sums of all evils balanced in this unreal world against the sum of good become diminished by your pain. May the poison purify your flesh of desire and your spirit of ambition. They sat and they sat around on the floor with my mother in the center. The peace of understanding on each face. Guys, in these lines, the poet also describes that the poor lady kept on turning sides in pain and groaning. The poet's father was a of desire and your spirit of ambitions. They sat and they sat around on the floor with my mother in center, the peace of understanding on each face, more candles, more lanterns, more neighbors, more insects, and the endless rain. My mother twisted through and through, groaning on a mat. My father, skeptic rationalist, trying every curse and blessing, powder, mixer, herb, and hybrid. He even poured a little paraffin upon the written dough and put a match to it. I watched the flame feeding on my mother. I watched. Guys, in these lines, the poet also describes about his father. The poet's father was a rationalist. He applied powder mixture, herb, and paraffin to the stung toe of the lady. He threw a little paraffin on the spot and burned it to reduce the effect of poison. At last, upon the beaten toe and put a match to it, I watched the flame feeding on my mother. I watched the holy man perform his rites to tame the poison. With an incantation, I watched the holy man perform his rites to tame the poison with an incantation. After 20 hours, it lost its stings. At last, there come a holy man. He was also superstitious like the pigeons. He chanting the his mantras to cure the poet's mother. Almost everything failed, and lady suffered from pain. pain for long 20 hours. Only the passage of time gave her some relief. My mother only said, "Thanks God, the scorpion picked on me and spared my children." And at last, the poet At last, the poet brings out the feelings of as a typical Indian mother who can undergo untold suffering for the sake of her children. When his mother says, "My mother only said, 'Thanks God, the scorpion picked on me and spared my children.'" Thanks so much, guys.